In other news, the Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi has announced the launch of online applications for grades 1 and 8 for the 2022 academic year. The online application process has not been without its challenges, with the department having to attend to numerous technical glitches since its introduction in 2015. Spokesperson for the Education Department Steve Mabona joins us now to talk about this. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Steve. So what, if any, changes or improvements to the systems will be made?
Thanks very much, Sebi. So it's more about enhancing the system, making sure that the system can be seamless when we are processing applications. So like as we said now, we are doing it in phases. The first phase, it will be for the grade 7s that are in our space. We are saying parents need to make sure that their details are verified with the schools. And what is important is the contact detail, the cell phone number that they shared with the school, because on the 10th of August, when the system opens for applications, they will then be receiving a notification which they just need to click and make sure that they process the application. It's over 174,000 of those grade 7s that are in our space, which we want to make sure that we avoid parents going to our offices, queuing there with challenges. So we feel that if we can address these grade 7s that are in our schools already, it's captive audiences, people that we have, we know their parents, and we feel that they can just transcend from being grade 7s to go to grade 8, but then without any hassle, make sure that they are placed, accordingly. So that's why we introduced this change. And if your information is wrong, the system will then prompt you to interact with the school to say, change the contact detail so that you can then be in a position to apply. And those that are...
One of the major issues you had last year was the OTP, or one-time password feature. It caused frustration and delays for early applicants. Are you continuing with it? Has that been fixed as a problem?
Well, we are continuing with that because now we are looking at the captive audience, people that we have. So that's why we encourage parents between the 2nd and the 6th of August to make sure that the contact detail that appears at a school, it's the correct one, is the one that will then be expecting to receive an SMS. Because when you are also navigating in the system, it will also, send an OTP, which will then assist you to continue with the application process. So it's quite important feature for safety and the verification purposes. So we'll continue with that, and we feel that we're not going to be having challenges when coming to it.
Okay, but there was also a problem with the delay in address validation due to the high volumes of applicants. So naturally, if you go online, the expectation should be the number of applicants will be as high as the number of people with digital access. So how are your technicians ready to deal with high volumes should that occur again?
Look, for the mere fact that we know on how many learners we are going to be entertaining in the first phase, which I've already indicated that over 174,000 of those that are in our space, the system is not going to be overpowered because we know that those parents will be receiving SMSs to access the system. Those that would have not received an SMS, they would not be in a position to continue with the application process because it will prompt them and take them back to their schools to say, go back to the school, verify. And when they come back with the correct information, then they will continue to apply. And the application process is quite easy. All those steps will then be guided as per how they will then be navigating in the system. So we don't foresee any pressure that will be coming from the applicants who will be accessing the system because it's quite a number that the system, it has been enhanced to can cater.
Okay, let's hope your words ring true for those who had to interact with the system. And I recall many parents complaining that they were in lines for a very long time, they were not attended to in time. But the MEC himself also complaining last year that there were too many people applying for schools at which there was limited space. I think Curio was one of them. How is that going to be remedied?
The process that we've now introduced of entertaining applications in the phase, approach or phases, it will then assist us, because remember we said phase 1 will open on the 10th of August and will close on the 3rd of September, and they will then be starting with the process of placement on the 15th of November. And the phase 2 as well, when they open on the 13th of September, they are expected to go up until the 8th of October. And then between the 15th of November and the 30th of November, we'll then be conducting placement. So we are quite confident that this process is going to assist us to alleviate pressure, to alleviate parents that would not be satisfied, that will go and queue at our offices. Well, we need to face it that the capacity, that's our challenge. I mean, you will have parents that will be applying for spaces that probably are limited. That's why we felt that we need to start internally, interact with the parents of the grade 7s in our space, accommodate them first, and then go outside. Some people will say we are punishing those that are coming from grade 8 in the private and independent schools that are coming from for grade 8. But we are saying this process, we want to assist and make sure that we deal with those that are within our space and then accommodate those that will be coming outside, so that we then have less pressure for the system and less pressure for us as the department.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us, spokesperson for the Education Department, Steve Mabona.